And it is time. Look, we got to talk about it. The Mel Tucker situation. The news broke this weekend. Mel Tucker suspended. Mel Tucker soon to be terminated, I would imagine. That is the order of operations and how this will run. And you guys know what the story is on it. I don't need to go into the details and all that kind of stuff. But look, and I know Michigan fans are kind of having a joke about it and stuff like that.
Of course.
And look, that's the way that this stuff works.
You know how it goes.
100%. It's just, for me, Lindsay, there's two schools of thought of this for me. If you're going to be into all this scandal and everything like that, and we've seen it now a couple of times from Michigan State, if you want to get into the order of operations and the technicalities, miss me with that because I'm not here with that. All I know is what I see in the news all the time.
Right.
That's what I see in the news all the time. So here's the deal. You want to get real about this? I'll get real about this with you guys. His actions right now, because I deal in business.
Right.
I deal in the real world. I deal because I follow the money, and that's what tells me what's going to happen. If anything, you guys want to be real about this, there's a window now for Michigan State to get out of this contract.
There you go.
There's a window now. Let's just cut all the moral high horse stuff and everything like that. Let's just get into the nuts and bolts of it and the business of it.
Because Neil, we both know if Michigan State was winning right now and they were a top 5 team in the country, we probably wouldn't even hear about this.
No lies. No lies.
We've seen this before.
And people aren't going to want to hear that,
but
right?
That's the truth.
But that is the truth. And it's been proven time and time again in college athletics. If you're going to do this stuff, you better win.
You better win.
And they ain't winning.
They're not winning.
And that's it. That's all. And it is. It's just it's a window now for Michigan State to get out of the contract, and they're going to take it.
Yes.
And let me tell you guys how this will play out, too. I'll save all the moral high horse stuff because we got a lot of football to get to here today. I'll just explain how this is going to shake out, and we can all move on. Here's the deal. They've got him suspended now. They're going to let him go for cause. Then they're going to get caught up haggling for some kind of buyout. That's how it's going to work.
Of course.
That's how it's going to work.
Yep.
Like Mel Tucker's people will go to him and say, all right, we'll go away if ... And they'll say, no, well, maybe we'll go through the legal channels. And Mel Tucker's people will say, hey, you can save some money if you just scratch this check and we drop this and it's over. And the back and forth will go on. Lindsay, that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. We've seen these things happen before. And then we've seen coaches that have been in scandals, that have been fired, that have been hired right away because they do what? They win. So we know the bottom line about this is winning, and it's about money.
The Ski Mask Boy says, what the F are you talking about, Neil? I'm talking about the real-world implications of this and how it's going to go down. That's how this is going to go. So what are you talking about,
right,
Ski Mask Boy? Like, that's what I want to know. And Steve Wild says the woman was playing about it. I'm not going down that and all that kind of roads like that. Look, guys doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing, right? And for like the people that want to say they knew about this and this was the time, guys, this isn't criminal. I think people are losing that right now.
Right.
Like as of right this moment in time, this isn't a criminal case. Right. So they have a protocol they have to go through. And there ain't no protocols like university protocols.
Right.
That stuff takes forever.
And I'm sure he had a moral clause in his contract.
Which he does, yes.
Yeah, so that's the basis of this entire thing. His moral clause was going to let them get out of that contract.
Right. And they have their window right now. And that's how this is all going to go down. Tiger Town says Tuck needs to go. Steve Wild says he'll get $15 million and leave. And Steve, you're warm on that right now because I think that's how this is going to shake out. Yeah. You'll see this go back and forth, and something will have to be done for him to go away, and that's the way that it's going to go down. And you can say what you want about the contract being offered. That was the cost of doing business at the time, but none of that matters now because they got their shot to get out of it.
And they will. They will. And we've been hearing names float around who's going to be the interim, and D'Antoni's possibly coming back. So they've put things in motion to get started to replace him already. So
Aaron Tackett, raise your hand if you need Tyler Conklin to catch every one of Aaron Rodgers' passes to win your fantasy matchup. Aaron, that's a bad spot to be in, by the way. Let me just say that. But yeah, and Steve also said Mel will also forever be known as a joke, and he will. And why will he be remembered as a joke? Because they didn't win except that one time.
They didn't win. Yep, 1 year.
And Lindsay, I'm glad that you said it, so I didn't have to, so I don't have to take the heat on that. But I was told, right? Remember when we did these shows, and when he got signed to the contract, I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't see how he's going to get elite players to Michigan State. I got filleted by Michigan State people. Filleted.
But that's to be expected.
Look at where Mel Tucker's been. Who do you think got all those elite players? I was like, yeah. Where was he? He was at Georgia and stuff. Yeah, he was getting them there. You ain't getting them here. And guess what? He didn't get them here. And this goes into that. Like, why they're going to take this window as an opportunity to get out of this deal, and they're going to do it. So, I don't know what to say. People are going to say the jokes and stuff like that. But what about this too? By the way, it's for me. You look around the Big Ten. Because you brought up an interesting point about, you need to be winning and stuff like that. When you look around the Big Ten right now, Michigan State has an interim coach. Michigan has an interim coach. Northwestern has an interim coach.
Right.
Like, if you're going to go through all this scandal, you should at least do it like Baylor and win.
Right. I don't know, man. It's something about the South, though. Like, it's different in the South. And I don't know if it's just because it's a legacy of cheating. But they've always figured out how to get it done. And now that they've made it legal with the NILs, it's kind of even the playing field. So it seems like everybody should be able to, But it's just different, man. Some teams, some colleges know how to go get elite talent, man.
Right.
Some coaches know how to get it done.
Fletch Lives Daily says so much negativity in the Big Ten. And there is. Like, for real, it is.
Right. But it's, if we look back at college football, the only reason that we're seeing this stuff, because normally it's not on the surface like this. Look, here's a dirty little secret. This stuff is always taking place, okay? It's always been there.
Let me tell you this, too. A lot of coaches are bad guys.
There you go.
I hate to shock everybody's world there, but a lot of coaches are bad guys.
Right. And because publicly you don't get to see all sides of a person, you don't know. You just know what you see. You know the coach that's winning, and you know the coaches that are being praised for winning. And that's all we get to see. But we don't see, I remember hearing stories about Bobby Knight. But everybody loved Bobby Knight when he was coaching and winning national championships, right?
Right. The second you stop winning.
Right. Get him out of here.
And we have examples for miles about this,
right.
man.
Right.
Like, that's what's it is. Brandon says the Big Ten has been down for a while. Nothing has changed. And that's my point. Like, through all of this, when you look around the landscape of the Big Ten, you got 3 universities with interim coaches now, coaches suspended, fired, etc. Like, what's the issue here? But we know the issue.
Right.
Just come to find out some guys are just bad guys, man. Like, they are. And people are weird.
And here's the thing. Some guys, there are good people in the world, there are bad people in the world. There are people that make honest mistakes. There are people that get caught up in things that they probably have been doing for a while that hasn't been brought to the surface. So there's all these coaches and all these people in these positions. They're people. So I don't know if people think that, just because you're the head coach of such and such, you're supposed to be, you're holding him in a higher regard than anybody else, but he's still a person. And being a person, there are problems that they deal with, just like everybody else.
Detroit Dabber 313, when asked for comment, Jim Harbaugh said nothing since he's also currently suspended. But it's a wild time right now in the Big Ten, and that's all I know. So that's how it's going to go down. And it's a business play on Michigan State's end. It'll be a business play on Mel Tucker's end. And it's going to be about money, like everything else in the world is.
Always.
Sorry.
No.
For somebody who was looking for some great moralistic rally cry from me, you're not getting it. That's just the way that the world works. So